Hello, my name is Sonali and I welcome you to the latest episode of Around the World in 7 Days. India has left a deep impression on many parts of the world through its diplomacy. When it comes to the Gulf region, the countries here are seen spreading carpets to welcome India. The Gulf countries always strive to strengthen their bilateral relations with India. This is the reason why even giants like UAE and Saudi Arabia do not miss the opportunity to engage with India. After becoming the Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi has visited UAE 5 times in a row. Actually, there has been a lot of warmth in the relations between the two countries since the last decade. This can be gauged from the fact that when Prime Minister Modi went to UAE last year, UAE President Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan broke the protocol and himself stood to welcome the Prime Minister at Abu Dhabi airport. Earlier in the year 2019, UAE had also honored PM Modi with the highest civilian honor, Order of Zayed Award. This shows how much the closeness has increased between the two countries. To further enhance this closeness, recently Prime Minister Modi directly reached UAE after his visit to France. During this, he met the President of UAE, Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, and the two reached agreement on a number of issues. Due to this, speculations are being made that along with the increase in trade between the two countries, investment from the UAE side in India can also increase. You must be curious to know about the agreements between the two countries. How will India benefit from these agreements? Along with this, a question can also be asked that why UAE is taking so much interest in India and why is UAE special for India. Let's talk about all these aspects one by one. After meeting the President of UAE, Prime Minister Modi announced that both the countries are taking new initiatives to strengthen their partnership. A joint statement issued after the bilateral meeting between Prime Minister Modi and the UAE President said that India and UAE have agreed to start business transactions in local currencies instead of dollars. For this, an MOU has been signed between the Reserve Bank of India and the Central Bank of the United Arab Emirates. Now, business can be done between the two countries in Indian rupee and UAE's currency dirham. According to experts, this can help in reducing exchange rate risk. Along with this, cooperation between the banking systems of both the countries will also increase. This will boost trade and economic activities between the two countries. Apart from this, the central banks of both countries have agreed to link India's UPI, that is Unified Payment Interface, and UAE's IPP, that is Instant Payment Platform. Along with this, it has been agreed to connect the card switches of both the countries, that is RuPay switch and UAE switch. According to the official statement, the integration of these systems will increase the access of payment services to the residents of both the countries as well as reduce the cost of payments. Broadly speaking, this system can prove to be helpful in reducing transaction costs and settlement times. This will especially benefit nearly 3.5 million Indians living in the UAE. This shows that both the countries are making efforts to strengthen their relations. You may have a question that why both the countries are special for each other. The foundation of India-UAE relationship largely rests on 3 pillars, that is, energy, economy, and expatriates. India imports a large amount of crude oil from the UAE. UAE was the third largest supplier of crude oil to India during the financial year 2022 to 2023. During this period, UAE had a share of about 10% in India's oil imports. The major items exported from India to the UAE include precious pearls, precious stones, metals, electrical machinery, among others. In the year 2022, India-UAE trade was $85 billion. However, India has now decided to increase non-oil business from UAE to $100 billion by 2030. There is also a fact that UAE is India's third largest trading partner country after US and China. Also, UAE was the second largest export destination in financial year 2022-23 after the US. In contrast, India was the UAE's second largest trading partner. An important aspect of this economic relationship is that UAE is the fourth largest investor in India. Total FDI inflows from the UAE to India between April 2000 and September 2022 stood at around $15.2 billion. At present, UAE's investment in India has crossed $3 billion. It was only $1.03 billion in the financial year 2020-21. At that time, it was the world's seventh largest investor in India. This means that in just 1 year, the UAE has jumped 3 places in terms of investment in India. In fact, the CEP, that is Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement signed last year, is playing an important role in the growing relations between the two countries. This is the first free trade agreement signed by India in the last decade. Earlier in the year 2011, India had signed a free trade agreement with Japan. This is India's first free trade agreement with any Arab country. Now you will ask why UAE is taking so much interest in India. This is because just as Saudi Arabia is trying to diversify its economy, UAE is also trying to diversify its economy. It also does not want to limit its economy to oil exports only. Now it also wants to focus on food business, green infrastructure and real estate, etc. In this way, UAE wants to reduce its dependence on the oil-based economy. For this, it is looking for new places of investment all over the world. It intends to double its manufacturing sector by the year 2031. In this exercise, it is looking at India as a dependable partner. Due to this, it wants to take advantage of the efficiency of Indian professionals by investing in India. This is the reason why it is giving preference to Indian professionals and technical experts as compared to expensive Western experts. Apart from this, it is also interested in India's weapons. It wants to buy missiles like BrahMos from India. If experts are to be believed, it also wants to manufacture military equipment together with India. Overall, the countries of the world are increasing their partnership with India, keeping in mind their needs with efficiency in the global supply chain. However, the meaning of India's partnership with UAE becomes special because apart from being important for India's energy needs, it is also a major investor in India. After America, India exports the most to UAE only. Apart from this, UAE has always been a vocal supporter of India against terrorism. UAE is an important partner of India as a Gulf country, and it means a lot to India in the global community. So that's all in this discussion. See you in the next episode. But before leaving, let's note down a practice question based on today's coverage. India has its own importance for UAE. Explain.